Today, we're diving into something big. We're talking about one single year that might just change, well, everything. We're going to unpack the tech and tech brief and see why 2026 is shaping up to be this huge tipping point for tech. So, here's a question for you. What if the future didn't, just slowly creep in? What if it just showed up all at once? That's the wild idea we're digging into. See, according to the brief, 2026 is the year that all the stuff we've been hearing about for ages, the things stuck in research labs and early prototypes, finally goes mainstream. We're talking about real products that you and I can actually get our hands on. So where does a revolution like this even start? Well, it begins somewhere pretty familiar, right in your pocket. Okay, first up, let's talk about Samsung. They're pushing this idea they call agentic AI. And look, this is not just another Siri or Google Assistant. The two big words you got to remember are proactive and autonomous. This is AI that's designed to actually anticipate what you need and then act on it, a lot of the time without you even having to lift a finger. And here's a perfect example of how this would actually work. Imagine this, okay? You're on a call with your new Galaxy phone and earbuds. Suddenly, a loud ambulance drives by. Instantly, your earbuds crank up the noise cancellation so you can still hear. But, and this is the killer part, at the very same moment, your phone automatically messages the person you're talking to saying something like, "Hey, it just got noisy, 1 sec." See that? The devices are working together seamlessly. It's just like Samsung's mobile president, TM Raw, said, Galaxy AI is no longer just a feature, it's an agent. And that's the whole point, right? It's a fundamental shift from a simple tool that you have to command to a genuine partner that's actively helping you out. And you know what? Samsung is definitely not the only one making this kind of huge strategic shift. Take a look at Meta. For a long time, their Quest headsets were all about one thing, gaming. But with the next generation, the Quest 4, they are making a massive pivot. They're going all in on the business world. We're talking tools for companies, for training, for remote work. And they are not messing around. They're backing this pivot with some serious tech upgrades. A new chip that's a whopping 40% more powerful, brand new lenses that make the whole headset 30% slimmer, and of course, it's fully wireless. This is all part of their big Quest for Business push, and the goal is simple, to transform VR from something you play with into an absolutely essential tool for work. All right, so that's the stuff in our hands and on our heads. But this shift is way bigger than just personal gadgets. Let's zoom out and look at the huge industries that really run the economy. And what's fascinating here is we're seeing the exact same pattern with NVIDIA. For decades, who was NVIDIA's #1 customer? The gamer, right? People wanting the best graphics for their PCs. Well, that's changing. Their new obsession is the AI workstation. Just like Meta, they're following the big money from consumer entertainment over to enterprise. And the perfect symbol of this shift is their next monster graphics card, the RTX 5090 Ti, which they're even calling the Titan AI. This thing is slated for 2026, and make no mistake, this beast isn't being built to give you a few extra frames per second in your favorite game. Nope, its entire purpose is to unleash the full, raw power of its chip for one thing, training enormous AI models. Speaking of massive, well, how about humanoid robots? You've probably heard Elon Musk's latest, typically ambitious prediction. He said that by 2040, we'll have 10 billion humanoid robots. And of course, that Tesla's Optimus will be leading that charge. Okay, but here comes the reality check, straight from inside the factory. The report says that the engineers who are actually building the new Optimus Gen 3 describe them as behaving like one-year-old children. Yeah. So they can kind of wander around, but they can't do any useful work yet. It's just a classic, stark contrast, isn't it? The grand, long-term vision versus the slow, messy, step-by-step reality of how this stuff actually gets built. And that tension between vision and reality, it brings us perfectly to our final section. Let's talk about the scientific revolutions that are genuinely redefining the limits of what's even possible. All right, let's tackle the mind-bending world of quantum computing. It's basically a three-way race right now. You've got Microsoft, who's betting on a super stable kind of technology called topological qubits. Then there's IBM, who's just going for pure scale. They're building machines with over 1,000 qubits already. And finally, you have Google, whose main goal is to prove their machine can achieve raw speed, something they call quantum supremacy, to beat any classical supercomputer. So why should you care about any of this? Because the real-world implications are absolutely staggering. We're talking about computers powerful enough to break basically all of the encryption we use today. That's huge.
But on the flip side, they could also simulate molecules to invent new medicines at a crazy speed or solve gigantic logistics problems like untangling global supply chains that are just flat out impossible for the computers we have now. But for all the world-changing potential of quantum computing, the Tech in Brief suggests that the most immediate and maybe the most powerful revolution is happening somewhere else, in medicine.
Okay, let's just get a baseline here. Think about a brain MRI scan. Right now, it takes a highly skilled human radiologist about an hour, 60 minutes, to go through it and make a diagnosis. Now get this, a new AI system, NeuroScan AI, can do the exact same job in 15 seconds. Just let that sink in for a moment, from 1 hour all the way down to 15 seconds.
But of course, speed is useless if it's not accurate, right? Well, that's the kicker. This AI was trained on over 2 million scans, and its accuracy is 97.3%. This isn't just about saving time. In something like a stroke, where literally every single second matters, this kind of technology is going to save lives. It's that simple.
Okay, wow. So after seeing all that, from our phones to our jobs to our health, what's the big picture? How do all these pieces fit together? Here's the most important thing to understand. These are not separate, isolated trends. The AI agent in your pocket, the VR headset you wear for work, that super-powered AI chip in a data center, the AI analyzing a medical scan, they are all connected. They are all part of the same fundamental shift happening all at once. And that brings us right back to the beginning. The Tech in Tech Brief sums it up perfectly. 2026 is the year of transforming experimental technologies into real products. It's not science fiction anymore. The future is officially leaving the lab and it's entering your life. And that, of course, leaves us with one last massive question to chew on. As all this intelligence becomes autonomous, proactive, and just all around us, what's our role in all of this? What's left for us to do?